Quan had a tiny heart attack. We still focused on being avid runners. We got involved in 5Ks. He would run for maybe half a mile and he'd have to stop, and run for another half a mile, he'd have to stop. And we just thought it was normal. And then the incident happened. After the run, he sat on the bench and I stood behind him to stretch, and he fell face forward. She immediately, not even a minute in the call, said, he's having cardiac arrest, you're gonna have to perform CPR. And that's when I just remembered the training and started to sing, Staying Alive. I am here with my husband. We get to share another Christmas together and birthdays, and my children have their father, thanks to my training with the American Heart Association, period.
As we were thinking about giving to the American Heart Association, which we've been involved with for many years, we tried to think of a way to be thoughtful and transformational in what we were doing, and created a program with St. John's School working to educate those in our community about CPR education and also heart health and what's important to living a healthy, long life.
We need healthy kids to be great learners here at St. John. And our cardinal virtue here is care, caring for kids and training them to care for themselves and care for other people. CPR is part of that.
We embraced the training the trainer model. So not only were we educating students, faculty, and staff on the St. John's campus, but also they then took their knowledge and their tools and went out into the community.
The Fluors for decades have been incredible backers of St. John's. They've given time, wisdom, treasure, and the fact that they've given this gift, a gift of care, to our community that we can then in turn pass along to kids in Costa Rica, kids around Houston, that's just a continuation of the Fluor legacy of care.
They taught her enough for her to remember and to put into action what she actually learned during that training, and ultimately saved my life.
I am wholeheartedly grateful for the American Heart Association. I am blessed that they do what they do.
She had actually learned something here and then was able to save her husband's life. It puts everything in perspective. It made me proud of the Fluors, proud of what we do here at St. John's, and proud of our affiliation with the American Heart Association.
Lacey and Matt were a little bit of pioneers. They really took the heart ball to a whole nother level and engaged a whole nother group of folks that had not really been connected to the heart ball. And then to be part of what they've created now with St. John's School, along with Peter and Ann, it's just tremendous to see the combination of these two generations coming together to make something so special happen.
I think the CPR program represents so well what the Fluors and the Goossens are about in terms of their philanthropy. The program is focused, it's results-oriented, makes a difference, and it saves lives.
Another aspect of what we've done with St. John's is put in a hypertension program. We educate the faculty and staff in hypertension, blood pressure monitoring. We felt it was important that all of these initiatives really be embraced by the students and to also help develop leadership skills, really have a student-led program. My parents are very philanthropic, but they do it in a quiet way, under the radar. I'm extra excited that they're being honored at the Heart Ball this year. It's great to recognize them publicly for what they do in our community, and especially at the American Heart Association.
You deserve this wholeheartedly. The work that you've done has already saved lives, one that we know of specifically, but I'm sure there are others, and there are more to come.